Let's look at pretty simple connection between Google BigQuery and Data Studio. I have here a query which gives me a number of cookie days, let's call it, of user which made a scroll on my page. So it should show me number of users which made a scroll in this particular day. You may ask why I made here an concat, but I will get to it later. For now, let's connect it to Google Data Studio. So in Data Studio, I will create a blank report and connect it to BigQuery, authorize, choose custom query, GA for Dronson, and copy the query without dates for now. As regarding the dates, I will use enable date parameters, and here I have ds start date and ds end date. To use it, you need to use something like at ds start date and here ds end date. Let's add it. Allow. Add to report. And the data is here. So number of cookie days is 51. And why is it 51? It is because it takes into account whole data range. Let's choose the whole range, and it's 51. So to make it possible to choose your dates, you need to insert data range control. Let's put it here. It's very good to choose yesterday as the data range default. I will get back to it in a second. And you have your report, which you are able to change the dates, and it will recalculate the number. Of course, you are able to make it look much better. Here is just the example of a connection. So you are able to put graphs, different types of reports, etc. Why did I choose the default data range for yesterday? I put it because Data Studio recalculates the data daily, even if you are not logging into Data Studio sometimes. So it's better than for Data Studio to recalculate only one day of data range, not the longer period, and it will cost more. So regarding the cost, if I have only 17th of March, it will run through 1.8 kilobytes of data. It's my private blog, so it's for now very small. But if I change it to longer period, it's much more data. Of course, it's still nothing. The case is it is 10 times more. So if your data is gigabytes, then it counts. So that is why I choose here yesterday. And the second aspect, why I chose here concat. Let's copy this report and make it without concat. So I just let's make it this way. I will copy that and create a new connection, add data, create just a new connection here and without concat. Yes, and delete this part. Allow. So for the data range, which is 1 day, it will always show the same result. The cases, if I choose a longer period, it will show different results. And if I sum up adding dates 1st March, 2nd March, 3rd March, etc., if I would add it in this approach with concat event date, the number will match. With this one, it won't. Because with, let's go to BigQuery, it's easier. With concat, I'm taking into account that one cookie can come to my site in a couple of different dates. And if I use only user pseudo ID, it will be distinct between those dates. So let's show it in the data. User pseudo ID event date group I1 and 2. And let's make it, for example, that way. So it's like 16, 17. Will there be a difference? No, unfortunately not. Okay, 15. Not yet. Not so many users on a blog for now. Okay, so 13, from 13 to 17, maybe let's also order by. Okay, don't need that part. User pseudo ID. It will be fairly simple with this amount of data. Okay, so that user went to a site on 13 and on 14 as well. So if I add the concat this way, for that user, if I count distinct user pseudo ID, those two lines are treated as one. And if I count distinct user pseudo ID connected with event date, so this one, it will count as two. That is why it's, in my opinion, good approach to add event date, so you are counting distinct users per day. And because of that, your reporting will add up. So if you are checking the data between dates, so you will get the same conclusion of number of users per day. Okay, so that was the approach, how to link BigQuery, SQL with Data Studio. Of course, you are able to have much more data in here. I am not allowed to show you any of my data for clients which I work for, However, it's so knowing the way is the main thing. Additional stuff is just placing the data in Google Cloud, so to have here additional tables and use SQL and to know what is the most important to report. Thanks for watching and till the next one.